Hey there, everybody. This week we're going to talk about potentiation and harm reduction. The reason why I decided to talk about this week is because I've been seeing a great deal of people coming in with a massive amount of medication. And the irony behind that is that they're taking all their medication as prescribed, but are clearly not aware of the consequences of taking all those medications as prescribed and also drinking on all these medications. So, we're going to have a discussion about all of this because by drinking and taking certain medications, there's a thing called potentiation, and there's huge implications and consequences that go along with that. And a lot of times, medical professionals and pain management doctors and pharmacies don't tell you what can occur when you actually take these prescriptions or prescribed medications with alcohol. So we need to talk about that. So here we go. Let me do my disclaimer sentence first. I am not a medical doctor, and I cannot prescribe medications. So the information I am giving you is exactly that, information. If you have any concerns about the current medications you are on, do not stop taking your medications. Go to your doctor that you got these prescriptions from and talk to them about either changing your medications, learning more about your medications, or altering your medications. But by all means, don't just stop taking your medications. Talk to them about it. So that's my disclaimer sentence. Ta-da! So anyway, moving on now. Potentiation. What that means, and let me give you an example of what that means. So say, for example, like if you came in my office and you said, hey, Dr. Bryson, this is all what I'm taking. Plop. And I'm like, oh my gosh. So say like you're prescribed Vicodin, Ambien, Xanax, gabapentin, and all these other myriad of other medications, clonidine, blah, 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 all these medications. And you're taking them all as prescribed. So say like you're taking Vicodin, one pill every 4 hours, 4 to 6 hours for pain. Then you're taking Xanax, one pill every 6 hours, for anxiety or as needed, PRN. And then you tell me I'm taking Ambien every night because I have a hard time sleeping. And then you tell me I'm on clonidine and I'm on this other myriad of medications, on and on and on. Well, and then as we're talking more and more, you say, well, and I'm having some trouble understanding all of this because I'm taking all my medication as prescribed, but I don't really read the literature they give me, one, from the pharmacies, because why should I sit there and read all this fine print crap, And, I'm always still in pain, so sometimes I take more. I know they say not to, but, when they say every 4 hours, I don't know, I take it every 2 hours. And, addicts, come on now, let's be honest, addicts. If one is good, 5 is better. Come on, we know this. Don't lie. So anyway, that's usually what I hear. And I'm like, yes, I understand what you're saying. However, you are not the doctor. And the other thing is, that's not good because you are layering things. So here's my example. You take your Vicodin, right? Vicodin, Xanax, Ambien, clonidine. Do you see my example? And then, say for example, you decide that you're going to go eat Italian food, because this is always what I hear. Well, when you eat Italian food, you have to have wine. Like, hello? I don't do that, but okay, well, I'm rolling with it. I'll roll with that. So you go to an Italian dinner and you decide to drink wine. How much glasses of wine you drink? Well, I have to drink 2 glasses because 1 glass of wine ain't gonna do it. I mean, come on. So now you just added 2 glasses of wine onto our mess. That is called potentiation. What you just did is times this layer effect times 2 times 4. And so what happens is now you're depressing your system. That's what you're doing. So you just took all this ball of layer and you just times all of that times 2 times 4. So imagine you just took double or even triple or even 4 times what you just took. And you just started taking your entire central nervous system and your organs and your lungs, your breathing, respiratory system, and you started to depress that. So what happens, all of a sudden you go home after having your Italian dinner and you start feeling tired. Well, I feel so tired. I think I'm going to rest and start nodding out. I don't know, tired, and you're not understanding why. And so you go and lie down and you fall asleep. And all of a sudden, you don't wake up. And you're wondering how you got to the other side. Like, how did this... Grandma, what are you doing over here? What? Yeah, because you just did potentiation. You fell asleep and you ended up passing away and crossed over. And you didn't even realize it. That's what that's how overdoses occur. Because people don't realize that because of potentiation, even though they may have took all their things as prescribed, that's what occurs. You have potentiation. You times it by 2, you times it by 4, because when you use alcohol, it actually exacerbates or increases the effects of the medication. So please, when you're taking your medication, even if you're taking it as prescribed, don't use alcohol with it. So please be aware of that. I mean, that's the best way I can describe it. A lot of times doctors don't explain that information. And so you need to be aware of those things. Harm reduction. If you do not need to take some of those medications or certain things or some of the medications that's prescribed to you, don't take the medications. You don't want to mix and match and do all that sorts of crazy stuff. Anyway, hopefully that all makes sense. What I just kind of talked about. Be an advocate for yourself when it comes to your own medical treatment process. If you don't understand something or why you're taking something, or you went from taking a really low grade opiate and then they just jumped you from one small low grade Lortab all the way up to a Roxy or to Dilaudid, ask, why are you doing that? Why are you jumping me from that to that? Because when I read that online, it says that's a big deal. Ask questions. Ask. If you're unclear about something, ask. You are your own advocate in this medical world, in this whole process. If you're unclear of something, find out information, arm yourself with information, read. If you're unclear, get a second opinion. Do everything you can, because you are your own advocate. It's your body. You want to know more information. Nobody else can help you in that situation. So this is the vlog for the week. If you have any more questions or concerns, please feel free to comment and I will get back to you as soon as possible. If you liked this vlog, please press like, comment on it. Until next week, please be well, and we will be talking to you soon, I guess. Aloha.